All right, we got a Dell Latitude CPX. Let's see if we can figure out what year this thing was produced by looking at it on the bottom, on the inside, on the outside. Well, we got a Windows 98 Second Edition sticker. So Windows 98 Second Edition would give you a kind of a birth date thing. I don't know. What's under this door? What's behind door number 1? And this is 2008. And this one here is also 2008. So that's kind of interesting that the memory came from 2008. We've already seen the OS was installed in 2009, so that was probably an upgrade. And the machine is a Windows 98 vintage machine. So this machine was shown some love, that's good. Hard disk tray is a little cracked. That's perfectly okay though for this vintage of laptop. I don't think there was ever a door on the back side, but let's take a look at the ports while we've got it here on the back side. We have a cooling fan, a VGA port, a parallel printer port, a docking station port, a USB port, and a PS2 keyboard and mouse port, serial port, parallel port, power port. Whenever I say serial port, parallel port's like the next thing that comes out of my mouth, or the other way around. And then an infrared data exchange port, so you could actually print to infrared printers. That was a thing. 2 PC card slots, or PC MCIA card slots, or Personal Computer Memory International Association slots, or maybe even card bus slots. This is where the hard disk goes. This is the speaker grill, a fan input for the fan output on the back. We've got S-video, and then audio in, out, and speakers. All right, I am not seeing any date codes on that. Let's move it out of the way and keep on keeping on. What we have here, we have the battery, and like I said, this battery's got no charge in it. We'll have to charge this up overnight and see if it makes any difference, but I'm not expecting much. This battery, does it have a date on it? 66 watt hour battery, 4.46 amp hours. Set that off to the side. What's over here? This is a 24x CD-ROM module, so CD, not DVD. This drive is easily affected by shock and vibration. I'm sure it is. We'll check to see if there's anything in there when we power it up again. And then, oh man, that got rid of like all of the weight of this laptop. It almost now weighs the normal amount. We have a bunch of different screws with a bunch of different labels on it. This is labeled P, P, P. So if I remove all of the screws labeled P, does that allow me to get into the machine? Nope, I am feeling some resistance around the K area. So I'm going to remove, I say K area, because I'm going to remove the K screws next. P screw, K screw. There's K screws. There's P screws. And the K screws might also just be keyboard only. Alright, so we've got one cable with an end on it and one cable that just has a slip-in fitting on it. We'll get that out of the way. That was the touchpad connector that came off. Alright, so there is the touchpad assembly removed, which also has the speakers on it. Somebody's been under this one before. This screw is stripped out a bit. This is the DC board, the DC power supply board. And then underneath of that we have the Intel PCI set. And that's about as far down as we really need to go. There's not much else going on. With this being the module where you plug in the trackpad, I'm betting that that means that this little guy here is the tracking point, touch point, mouse pointer thing. Ubuntu 904, Jaunty Jackalope, April 2009. Excellent. Booted up on the first try. Let's see how the battery looks. Probably not very good. Nope, not very good. All right, let's get this thing over on the bench and take a look at it. All right, this is my favorite thing to do. I like finding old machines and going through and seeing what we can figure out. When I do this, I don't share any personally identifiable information or anything private, but I do look at like applications on the machine, and I try to figure out what this machine's purpose in life was. Kind of like anthropology. I like to ooh, there's a clay pot over there and it's got a little bit of ash on it. This must have been used in a fire, kind of thing. So that's what we're going to do right now. I've got this thing all set up in the screen capture, and I'm going to try some audio capture, and I haven't done that before. So we'll see how well that works out. So right off the bat, this machine came from Ham, and so there should be some ham related apps on it, and this was a channel donation. So Charles, thank you very much. What we've got on the desktop is LinAxPad, compiler Linux, datasheets, LinAxPad libs, syntax, and LinAxPad. So with Ax being, so Lin would be Linux. Ax, with Ax being in capitals, is probably for a programmable, like the pickaxe, programmable interrupt controller. I don't even know what Ax stands for, and then pad would be an editor. So let's open up LinAxPad. Did we do it? No, we did it. All right, awesome. Okay, yeah, so I was right. Pickaxe. So let's see if there's any pickaxe code here. Egg turner controller, unipolar, single step. Let's try egg turner controller. Excellent. Written for pickaxe 18x, but should run with mods on any pickaxe with at least 4 outputs. Drives 1.8 degree unipolar stepper motor in single 10 millisecond steps with increased torque. Turns motor clockwise 60 turns, which takes 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Yeah, that's a long turn. Removes power from motor, waits 5 hours, 57 minutes, and 52 seconds. Turns motor counterclockwise, which takes 2 minutes, 8 seconds. Removes power from motor, waits 5 hours, 57 minutes, 52 seconds, and repeats. It's interesting. I wonder why somebody would want to do that. Like, not in a negative way, but like, there's a very specific time in there. So, wait almost 6 hours, turn the motor 60 turns. Wait almost 6 hours, turn the motor 60 turns back. So, 4 times? Code's very well documented, nicely indented. Maybe this is for like tracking a satellite or something. Egg turner is a type of satellite antenna, I believe. But if this was literally an egg turner at your kitchen stove, I think the house would be burnt down before it flipped the egg turner in, flipped the egg over, pulled it back, waited 6 hours, flipped the egg turner over. Interesting. All right, cool. So that's the pickaxe controller, and then there's a screenshot. Pickaxe controller development. So this was the code that we just took a look at, and it was a screenshot of the entire system, the entire desktop while that was happening. Excellent. Let's keep looking. So on Linux machines, this is an Ubuntu 9 machine. I guess the first thing we should do is like take a look at the machine, see if we can get into a terminal. There it is, terminal, and see what the hardware is. This is a Ubuntu 9 machine, and I don't even know where I was going with that. All right, we brought up a terminal. Let's take a look and see what this machine is all about. cat/proc/cpu info. That's where I was going. Yeah, so on a Linux machine, there's so many different places to hide so many different applications and so many bits of data. So we're going to do kind of a quick overview and see what we can see in a brief amount of time. But I might miss out on a couple of things that could be installed on this machine. But it's okay in the grand scheme of things. You could have stuff in the Ubuntu Unity dashboard. Is this still Unity or is this just GNOME? In the GNOME menus, you could have something. You could have something buried in a bunch of different folders inside the machine. Stuff could not be in the path. Stuff could be in the path. Stuff could be only executable by one user or by another. Either way, we're going to have some fun. So Proc CPU Info says this is a 650 megahertz Pentium 3, which is not the fastest Pentium 3 processor I've ever used, but it ain't nothing to sneeze at either. BOGO MIPS 1294.23. All right, let's see how much memory it has. And this had the 2 extra SODIMMs in the back, so proc mem info. And yeah, there's about 1 million ways to get this information. What do we have? Mem total 509. Yeah, 512 megabytes. Let's see about hard disk size. So 12 gigs, 7.2 gig available, so not a whole lot in use. All right, let's get out of the terminal. And let's take a look at the applications. What do we have? Accessories, calculator, CD, DVD, creator. I was going to check to see if there was something in the CD drive. No, nothing in the CD drive. Character, whoop, missed it. Disk usage analyzer. Let's see what that has to say. View rings as chart. Scan file system. Oh, I love these tools. So there was a situation where you'd run out of disk space, but you had no idea where it was that you ran out of disk space. And what this is going to do is give me a tree view, hierarchy view of disk usage on the system. So I can tell where all of my disk hogs are and then go after them and get rid of them. So the /lib folder is 392 megs. Out of that /lib/modules is 354 megs. And those are different kernel modules that are about 100 megs a piece. So I could go in and say, yep, there we go. I'll free up 300 megs worth of disk space by getting rid of the 3 older kernel modules, as an example. So that's pretty cool. And it's going to keep on looking, but we've seen enough. Get rid of that, go back into the applications menu. Password and encryption keys, take screenshot, terminal, Tomboy notes, games, Isle Riot Solitaire, Blackjack. Hit me. Oh, I busted. It's like being in a real casino. Gnometris. I might not want to admit this on camera, but I did not know that when you got a complete set of 4 all the way across, that was what was Tetris. I just thought the name of the game was Tetris. And you watch some of these guys play Tetris and they do some amazing things. There's one guy I saw a video on YouTube where he was able to play the end screen where it wasn't seen because he memorized the game board. And then one of the tricks that I picked up on was to specifically leave a spot so you could get yourself Tetris. No, I'm not going to play an entire game of Tetris. But what they would do is they would leave this last column completely free. And now you've got a guaranteed spot to always put one of the long bars. One of these guys. Just always goes down there. Alright, that's enough Tetris. What else do we got? And so far this is all the stuff that comes with, except for the Linux pad, all the stuff that comes with Ubuntu 9. Tally, Tetravex, robots, nibbles, mines, graphics, FSpot photo manager, GIMP image manipulator, image editor, OpenOffice drawing, scanning tool, internet, soft phone. So that would be voice over IP, Evolution Mail. Evolution Mail was a fantastic mail program. This was back when I really, really enjoyed Outlook and Outlook for Windows machines, and then wanted something good on the Linux side. And Evolution Mail was the one that did it. This was like the big killer app that got me to move over to Linux as a desktop on a daily basis. Let's see if we can get far enough into it to show you what it looks like without actually setting anything up. Yeah, that was all bogus settings. I just wanted to get into actually making it work. Oh, I have one email already. But if you knew what email on Linux looked like in 2009, this was the deal. This was the thing. And this looked a lot like Office 97. Let's see what year this came out. Novell. Copyright 1999 through 2000, Novell Inc. I don't remember seeing Novell's name in there before. That's very interesting. Novell was a big competitor to Microsoft. And Novell tried really hard to buy up a lot of different software programs and get its fingers in a lot of different pies to compete with Microsoft, because Novell was only a server operating system at first. Firefox. Pigeon. Pigeon was the AOL Instant Messenger clone, but it would also do like every other major chat service back then. And now we just use the Toads Discord. AOL is gone. AIM is gone. No longer can you ask ASL when starting a conversation with somebody. Those days are over. Ask your parents what that meant, if you're young and watching this. Remote desktop viewer, terminal server client, transmission BitTorrent client. Nice. Yeah, BitTorrent would have been 2006 timeframe? Maybe? 2008 timeframe? So it's possible. And again, that just came default. That's not saying anything about the owner of this computer. It just came default, because BitTorrent can be used for nefarious purposes, or it can also be used for perfectly legitimate purposes. CD burners, which, again, can be used for very legitimate purposes. Movie player, rhythm box music player, sound recorder. Rhythm box music player. So there's not a whole lot of stuff going on in the menus here. This thing might have only been set up with Ubuntu on it to do this Linux pad work and get it done. No songs in the music player, nothing there. All right, let's go back out to the command line and see if there's anything interesting going on in the command line area, because that's all of the stuff that was in the menu system. Basic. The pickaxe ran basic? Oh, that would be interesting. All right, so this machine also came with, I'm looking for them, figure out where they went. Came with a floppy drive, 3.5-inch floppy drive, and 2 network cards. We've got a D-Link Fast Ethernet DFE 690TXD, and that's wired Ethernet, and I don't have any wired Ethernet handy. And a D-Link Air Plus Extreme G. Let's see, first off, if there's LSPCI on here. And there is. Card bus. See, I told you it was card bus. Let's see. It's 440BX front side bus, card bus controller, 2 of those, ID interface, USB controller, Bridge Intel Corporation, P2X4, ESS audio drive. No, it's an ESS Maestro 3i audio accelerator. Did you want your audio sped up? ATI Rage Mobility PM AGP2X. All right, excellent. So we're going to see if we can get the Wi-Fi network to connect. And my favorite thing about these Wi-Fi cards is this piece here would always wind up getting bent upwards. It would still work. It was just bent. All right, it is green. Card bus, Ethernet controller, Atheros, communications. So it found it. Link is not ready. 5 gigahertz radio found, 2 gigahertz radio found. Okay, let's see, did it find any networks? Or is this too old? Nope, it found it. Awesome. All right, I got up to get a drink, and right as I stepped away, it connected online. All right, that works. We are online. Let's see. Let's see how well Firefox handles the modern internet. And let's see what version of Firefox it is, too. And since we're online, we can do system updates. news.bbc.co.uk. And we lost our connection. Hey, we're connected again. Let's see if YouTube kicks us off the internet again. Haha, yep. Lost it again. Okay, we're not going to try YouTube again once this thing connects. Might just be asking for too much. Let's see what version of Firefox this is. Firefox 3.6.11. Holy moly. I'm just asking for trouble. All right. I changed slots. Found it in the new slot, but it ain't happy with the network. All right, let's see if the floppy disk drive works. Pull out the CD. It's a very heavy CD-ROM drive. And find the floppy disk. All right, floppy disk drive works. I don't think there's anything on this floppy disk besides DOS 6.2. Find out in a second. Nope, not much going on in here. Well, there's something different on this drive. 419 megahertz AT with a 111 megahertz 287. Kind of off the charts. And the video test happened so fast I didn't even see it. Let's try that again. Press any key. Video test done. Scale on the video test is weird. 33 characters per second is definitely wrong. 25,000 characters per second makes more sense. Excellent. All right, that was a quick explore of what was on this machine. It looks like it was just started up to do pickaxe programming, which is pretty slick. I have never done pickaxe programming before. This was Ubuntu 9, and I believe it's from the 2009 vintage. It's a Windows 98 type of laptop. There's a lot of things you can still do with this because it's a 600 megahertz Pentium 3, which is a pretty respectable, not the fastest Pentium 3, but not the slowest either. Pretty respectable machine for its day. And I had a bunch of Dell Lattitude machines. I had one where the screen didn't work. And I took it apart and couldn't get the screen to work, but I didn't know then what I know now. Maybe now I could fix it if I still had it, but I don't still have it. So we'll have to see what this machine has in store for its future. Otherwise, there is a video over here that I think that you would like. Thanks for being awesome.